guests are meant solely as suggestion and should not be in any way construed as child-specific advice. Any choices you make in determining your child's treatment are completely at your own discretion.
Good morning and welcome to Autism Live. It is Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. We're live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and about a dozen other places. I'm Shannon Penrod. I am a proud pony and the host of this particular bus on the Autism Network. Thrilled to be here with you guys. This is my favorite time of the year. It really is. I love this period of time between Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah. And I had to look it up. I was like, I haven't heard when is Hanukkah this year. And it starts on Christmas, which is kind of an amazing thing. So that doesn't happen all the time, right? But that's kind of an amazing thing. So thrilled to be here with you guys. There's so much to celebrate and so much. I want to be looking at as many positive things as I can be right now. I think that that's an important thing this time of year to look. All the bad stuff is available to see, and we could wax poetic about that forever, but let's also take a minute to look at the positive stuff and be nice to people. I'm just going to give this example that it's very healing for me to garden. I swore with the house that we're renting, it did not have gardening space, and then COVID happened and I had to garden. And so I've done this. It's very fertile ground. Our front yard, which is just supposed to be a patch of lawn, I've turned it into an urban farm. It's hilarious. And we've been having Squashapalooza, where every year I just plant a couple of squash and it goes crazy. We had so many spaghetti squash in my yard. It looked like a dinosaur had just, had eggs all over our lawn because they were like big Easter eggs and dinosaur size. And so we took a laundry basket, filled it, and it was spilling over, and put it outside of our gate and put a sign that said Happy Thanksgiving and please take what you can use. And they all disappeared. Every last one of them gone. And it was like amazing. And as I was leaving this morning, a guy was walking his dog and he was like, "Hey!" And I went, "Oh gosh, what is this?" And he said, "I just want to say thank you." He was yelling it at me. "I just want to say thank you. I had that spaghetti squash yesterday and it was fabulous. Thank you." And I thought, see, there are positive things in the world. So let's all glom onto those things. That's what I'm focused on right now. We'll take all the other things as they come, and heaven knows they're there and coming, right? But let's try to see the good whenever we can. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm really excited because we've got an amazing guest. We thought that we were having both Matt and Navah, Matt Asner, Navah Paskowitz Asner. We're not able to have Navah this morning, but we've got Matt, and we always love it when he joins us here. We're going to talk about their amazing event that they have coming up. It's the fourth time they'll be doing It's a Wonderful Life, but they're doing it different. It's going to be exciting. We're going to talk about that with him in just a couple of minutes. But first, I want to remind you, and Chris is already showing you on the screen, all the different ways that you can connect, all the different ways that you can be watching the show or listening. We know that many of you download the free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. You're seeing some of the different places where you can get it online. We work very hard to make that free for you. It isn't free, right? Which is why when you listen in podcast, you will hear advertisements, and we hope that you embrace those and go, woohoo, they paid so I don't have to, because that's really what's happening. But if you really want to get it ad-free, you can. It's a small monthly fee of $5. You can go to glow.fm/autismlive, and you have that opportunity to watch the show listen to the show. You're not watching, you're listening. And by the way, you get everything that the Autism Network does for that one $5 flat fee. So you get Ask Dr. Doreen, take that in the car with you. Ooh, that's a good time. And it shows up in your inbox, and you don't have to go searching for it. It's a good time. But we also, at the end of the year, want to remind everybody that the way we keep the lights on, and let me tell you, it's a little hard sometimes. Let's be honest here. The way we keep the lights on is through views and through you liking and sharing and reviewing and letting other people know. If we grow our audience and people see that people are watching, then we get some sponsorship dollars in lots of different ways, and we are able to keep the lights on. So if you want to do something, if you've gotten anything out of anything that the Autism Network does and you want to do something nice for us, we appreciate if you comment, like, share, review. Reviews on iTunes do a lot for us. So we appreciate you more than you could possibly know. All right. Also want to say that the toy guide is live. Do we want to run the toy guide thing? Okay, let's run our, because Chris made this wonderful thing. We even have our theme song. So take a look, and I'll tell you all about the toy guide.
The wait is over. All month from now until the new year, join Shannon for Autism Live's 2024 Toy Guide Review. Shannon will break down the award-winning toys in multiple age groups, where to buy them, and how your purchase can help the Autism Network continue to provide information and inspiration to families this holiday season.
So we've been doing this toy guide now for, I want to say at least 10 years. We've been reviewing toys for probably 14 years, but we started putting together the toy guide. It is free to you. Go to autismnetwork.com and click on toy guide. You will see, the first choice is to click on the 2024 full guide, and then you can, swap around the different age groups and see where you want to be. But you can also look at the 2023. I think we still have up there the 2022. And I think now we're just going to catalog all of them. We didn't used to do that. I don't know what we were thinking. I think, when we were first doing it, you couldn't click on it to go buy the toy. And I will be honest, in subsequent years, that sometimes people move things, right? And it's so many toys. If a toy gets moved and the link doesn't work, we don't maintain previous years. So I'm going to be honest about that, but we maintain the 2020-24. It's not 2020-24, it's 2024, too many 20s. But if you like something and you're like, I want to be able to purchase it, you can click the link. Sometimes it takes you directly to our Amazon store. I used to be so proud and say to people, we don't get anything out of it. If you buy the toys, it's just us helping you. And then, now we get a little, if you buy it from our Amazon store, we get a couple of pennies. I don't know what we get, but we get some. We get points or so. I don't know what we get. But it does help us out. So if you want to buy it from our Amazon affiliate storefront, you can do that. It's the Autism Live Amazon store. You can go and see all kinds of things and reviews that we have in there of things and videos that we have of things. So check it out. It's really meant to help you make good choices with the money that you have for toys that not only, I don't want them just to be just educational. I want them to be educational, but I don't want them to be just educational because I don't want to sit with a workbook. I don't. If you give me a puzzle book, I will do math. But if you give me just a worksheet with math, I'm not interested in that, right? So I believe as a parent, as a person, as a former teacher, once a teacher, always a teacher, toys should ignite the imagination. And when they do, just think of that for yourself. What's the toy that lit you up when you were a kid that you still think about and think, man, I wouldn't mind having that toy around now, right? Right? What was the toy that really lit your imagination? I had many as a child, but I certainly loved, I had my imaginary dream house, which was a very 70s plastic thing, and it wasn't like a structure like a typical dollhouse, but I loved that because it had these clear plastic floors that had stairs that you could put together, and you could put it together any way you wanted. If you wanted to make a tower, you could make a tower. If you wanted to make it so that there were floors that were half covering each other, I loved that. I should have been an architect because I loved putting this dollhouse together in all the ways that I could put it together. Still remember the day that my dad got it for my 10th birthday and brought it home. We were living in New York, and he brought it home from California. And I wanted to go to California because that's where he got it from. I now live in California. Toys make a difference in your life. So that's why we do this for you guys, so that you can have choices and go, well, my kiddo won't like that, but they will like this. So we take the time to do that, and I have to say it's one of my favorite things. I love toys. Toys are amazing. Okay, we got to get to the jargon du jour because we got to get our guest in here eventually, right? So we like to do jargon of the day and try to shed a little light on terms that maybe we hear and don't know quite what they mean, or maybe even misunderstand because it sounds like something else and it isn't. This is a term that I don't think we just, unless you're in a psychology class, I don't hear people batting this around just in everyday common conversation, but we should be. This is something for all of us, but certainly something to be aware of for our friends and loved ones who are on the autism spectrum. So let's take a look. Cognitive distortions. What are we talking about? It's maybe not a good thing. Let's take a look. So cognitive distortions are biased thoughts that create negative patterns in the way a person thinks. They can be a response to depression and anxiety. Changing these habitual thoughts can help improve a person's general well-being. And that's from Medical News Today. This is a pretty powerful thing. Biased thoughts that create negative patterns in the way a person thinks. And that they can be a response to depression and anxiety, but they aren't always. Let's take a look at our working definition, see if we can't get even closer to what this is. Cognitive distortions are internal mental filters or biases that increase our misery, fuel our anxiety, and make us feel bad about ourselves. Our brains are continually processing lots of information. To deal with this, our brains seek shortcuts to cut down on our mental burdens. Sometimes these shortcuts are helpful, yet in other circumstances, such as with these unhelpful cognitive filters, they can cause more harm than good. This is from Harvard Medical. So imagine that, you're a person and you have these life experiences. Let me say, you're a 16-year-old girl and you go on a date and it doesn't go well. I mean, like really badly. That may create a cognitive distortion that all dates are bad, right? And how would that change the way that you looked at life, right? Let's say that you are a 4-year-old on the autism spectrum and you, I don't know, you like do something that creates static electricity and you get zapped by it, right? Maybe you rubbed a balloon on your hair and then you went and you touched something and you got zapped by it. And now you think that every time you touch the wall, you're going to get zapped. And you don't have enough experience of the world to say, oh no, that only happened because I rubbed my hair on the balloon and then I got zapped. But you build this whole thing about when I touch the wall, I get zapped, and now you have a deep ingrained fear of it. You now grow up into a teenager or an adult. You don't even remember the origin story of where that happened, but you are have so much anxiety and misery if someone asks you to touch a wall. And maybe you don't want to go to school because somebody's going to push you up against a wall or you're going to touch a wall. You know what I mean? So your life gets smaller and smaller because you have put 2 and 2 together and come up with 12, right? So this is what cognitive distortions do. And we all have this. We all have them to some extent. I was reading something yesterday that somebody put up a meme and said about ADHD and said, here are the symptoms that people don't talk as much about ADHD. And one of them is you think everybody's mad at you. And people were writing in funnily and saying, I see that you posted this. Does this mean you're mad at me? Right? But I think there are a lot of people walking around with these filters that are not helpful. Let's read again that it says, mental filters are biases that increase our misery, fuel our anxiety, and make us feel bad about ourselves. So that's not good. Right? If we could diminish that in ourselves, and if we could help our kiddos to diminish that, that would be a powerful thing. One of the things that I love and that we've talked about many times before on the show is cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. And one of the things that CBT does is help to identify cognitive distortions and work through them. And it does that by acknowledging, this is what happens. I used to have, I still am somebody, I'm a person on this planet, I have anxiety, right? But I used to have debilitating anxiety. And it happened right around the same time that I started having a heart arrhythmia. So my heart would be doing this wonky stuff that did not feel right. And my immediate thought was, I'm having a heart attack, right? And then, you don't want to drive a car when you think you're having a heart attack. So I didn't drive a car anymore. And which meant that I didn't go anywhere. Like my life got smaller and smaller and smaller. And through cognitive behavioral therapy, I would have a checklist of things that I would think about and think, okay, right now I'm experiencing some anxiety because my heart arrhythmia is feeling weird. Have I felt this way before? Yes. And when I felt that way before, was I having a heart attack? No. Was I okay? And yes, I ended up being okay. So, every time this anxiety would come up, I would sort of have this script of being able to talk to myself and say, my head is saying this is a heart attack, but do I have evidence to the contrary? Yes, I do. This is not a heart attack, right? To help myself with this cognitive distortion, which for me, there's always like a grain of truth that makes it seem like, yeah, this is a thing. But to be able to talk to myself and say, is this what it seems to be? No. Sometimes it's hard because we don't know where the predisposition for it comes. So when we talk about biases and prejudices, what day did that come from? Where it's harder to crack that nut, right? But if we can become aware of just the bias and prove it wrong to ourselves, we can free ourselves from cognitive distortions. I know that sometimes with individuals on the spectrum, we have this tendency to think, well, I don't think they have enough language to understand that. And sometimes we're correct about this, right? But there are still things that we can do to help and support someone with cognitive distortions, like helping them with a breathing exercise. I love the breathing buddies thing where you take the stuffed animal and you put it on somebody's belly and you both of you lay down on the floor and you try to make it go up and down. And it helps them, and if you make them go up slowly and down slowly, you don't have to have a whole lot of language to understand that and to then feel the benefit of, when I breathe slowly. And there's a way that you can arc that so that you don't always have to have the stuffed animal. There are lots of ways to teach things. Yes, is it easier when somebody has full language? Sure, but that doesn't mean that we can't teach things. So cognitive distortions, it's really important that we be aware of it ourselves first, because if you are aware of it for yourself and work on it for yourself, you'll be better suited to help someone you love work on it. And there are many different ways to work on that with them. But again, get an expert, cognitive behavioral therapy. All right, we're already late to welcome our guest, and I always love to talk to him. So let's move on from that. Cognitive distortions, be aware of it. But our guest is Matt Asner, and you guys hopefully know him. He is the founder and CEO of the Ed Asner Family Center. The Ed Asner Center Family Center, started in March of 2018, but they worked on it for years before. Matt started this with his wonderful, talented, and beautiful wife, Navah.
He's not here
and
yet.
with his father, the very famous actor, Ed Asner. It is an organization that's dedicated to providing arts enrichment to special needs individuals, and at the same time providing mental health support to the families that surround their community. They've done an amazing job with that. Matt is an autism expert and a spokesperson, appearing on national media and numerous international autism and disability conferences. He lives here in Los Angeles, California, and has a beautiful, wonderful, blended family. We call them the Brady Bunch of Autism, that he shares with his, as I said, wonderful and talented wife, Navah Paskowitz Asner. And I'm going to talk to him about this, but his dad always used to say, I don't know about autism, I know about Asnerism. So, but it's a thing in their family. It is in their family, like it's in your family, like it's in my family. So let's welcome Matt, because we have a lot to talk about. Matt, are you there? And he was going to go to a meeting, and he was going to be back by now. Do we have him? No, we don't have him yet. That's okay. He was at in a conference call, so we'll keep talking. So we do have him. You're there. You're there. Did you come running back?
Well, I heard you calling my name, and I came back.
My clock says 10:22, but it might be a little fast. I didn't think about that.
My clock says 10:19.
Oh, well, that's why, because I told you didn't have to be back until 10:20. I got to reset my clock. It says 10:22. Anyway, did you have a good meeting?
It was very good.
Okay.
Very
I'm
good.
glad you had the opportunity to do that. I said really glowing things about you and your wife. Did I just see a dog tail go by?
Did what?
Did I see a dog tail go by?
I think you actually did.
You have a couple of doggies at the center, yes? Who's there today?
Right there.
Oh, is that Gizmo?
That's Gizmo.
His face is
He's
turned
with
a
me
little
every day.
I love that for you. I think that's important for you, and I know how much the adults and kids at the center respond to having Gizmo's a ball.
I love him. He loves everyone.
Amazing.
Really good.
So, your dogs and children, they steal the show always, Matt.
They do.
A lesson for you've got an amazing event coming up. We need to talk about that, and it's happening on December 14th. Is that the date? Do I have that right?
That is correct. That is the date.
And it's the fourth time. Sorry?
5 o'clock Pacific time.
And is that a Saturday or a Sunday?
That is a Saturday.
That's a Saturday. Because normally you do this on Sundays, don't you?
Normally we do it on Sundays, but the cast wanted to do it on Saturday, and so we were like, yeah, let's do it on Saturday. Fine.
So it's It's a Wonderful Life again. You're doing a reading of it. This is the fourth time that you've done it, but this time is different. You keep telling me it's different, and I keep seeing lots of ways that it's different. It's always different every time you do it because it's a different cast every time. But give us the 411 on this one.
Well, this is It's a Wonderful Life on steroids. So this is going to be basically, we're doing it live at the Gary Marshall Theater. So all the actors will be on stage together. That's one thing. We're going to do it in an old radio style play. So it'll have a sense of nostalgia and wonder. There'll be a Foley artist live on stage and a musician live on stage, an organist and pianist on stage. And the actors are going to have a lot of fun doing this. It's going to be great. We have the entire cast of SpongeBob joining us.
Amazing.
Tom Kenny, Clancy Brown, Doug Lawrence, Carolyn Lawrence, Jill Tully. Did I say Clancy Brown? I did. Bill Faber-Kaki. I totally probably butchered his name there. And Roger Bumpus are joining us from the cast of SpongeBob.
There we go.
And then we have special guests Mark Hamill and Ron Funches and Joey King, and then Spencer Hart and Atticus Baldwin and Chelsea Darnell from the center.
Amazing.
So it's going to be great.
Array.
We're going to have a blast.
So
and tickets are still available.
And so there are tickets, in fact, because your tickets just really went live. So an amazing opportunity because you've never done this before. Let's be honest that this was a brilliant idea that you came up with in COVID because normally you have a big gala that we used to all meet someplace and be at a big gala that would be star-studded. And you would have people like Peter Frampton playing solo sets and I'm trying to think at the last one, Jackson Brown.
Jackson Brown.
Yep.
We'd have like people, comics like Brad Garrett, and people like that. And I'll be honest with you, we thought about doing galas again after the pandemic,
Yeah.
but and that might happen someday.
Yeah.
But right now, to us, it doesn't make sense to spend the kind of money that you spend on a gala. We're a nonprofit, and
Yeah.
every cent that we can save is important to our programming.
Absolutely.
So we want to, we want to kind of continue in the tradition of the pandemic and kind of make it a little bit of a smaller event, more intimate event. But the idea of creating something as a gala that can be streamed to many people throughout the world,
Yeah.
I think is an idea that we wanted to look at. So that's what this is. This is a live performance in Burbank, California, that will be streamed worldwide.
And it's just amazing. So in the beginning, when you originally came up with the idea, it was because you couldn't have a gala.
That's right.
There was no way we could get together, but you still wanted to create something for the community, and so you came up with the idea of doing a reading online of It's a Wonderful Life with an amazing cast of stars where we could all watch it. It was a revolutionary idea, and you made this incredible thing happen, and we were all glued. And that first year, it was mind blowing.
And I'll say this, I have to give lots of credit to my wife and partner,
Yeah.
Navah Paskowitz Asner, because she came up with most of the adventurous casting choices, like Pete Davidson and
Yes.
Jason Sudeikis. And at the time, I'm like, are you kidding? There's no way he's going to do it. And I made the ask, but she certainly came up with the idea. It's I think that's why we were successful. We were successful because we had involvement from some incredible people, incredibly talented people. And I'm not just talking about in front of the camera. I'm talking about behind the camera. I'm talking about, our director, Victor Nelly, who's been with us for 4 years. This is the 4th time he's done this. Chellen Gluck and Karen Beck, who are producers. Tom McAndrew, who's a board member and a producer and does a lot of sound. Chris Hallen, who's a board member, and he's going to be playing the live music. So I mean, this is an effort that a lot of people are involved in.
Yeah.
And I don't think it could be the quality that we're used to and that we want to put out there if these people were not involved. But
it's amazing.
I gotta give a lot of credit to the cast too, because they're gonna sell it when they're up there, and it's gonna be amazing.
It's been so fascinating each year to watch, and it's really led by whoever your George is, right? They really sort of set the bar, but you've had some incredible casting with some incredible people. Even the people that you have reading the stage directions. I mean, the year that you had Vanessa Williams read the stage directions, she made a meal out of that. She gave a master class for actors on how to read stage directions. Not
an easy thing.
Oh, she literally made a meal out of it, a 7-course meal out of it. It was, I would have tuned in just to watch that. But it's been crazy the amount of talent that you've had over the years. And of course, we love in our house to sit around and talk about, who was your favorite George? Okay, well, who was your favorite Mary? Who was your favorite whatever? Because everybody brings something different to it. And every year when that actor everybody's been great. Let's just say that across the board. But their interpretation of it, we're so used to the Jimmy Stewart, but everybody has managed to bring something to it that you never heard before. That there's a moment where you go, okay, this is their moment, where it's incredible. So it's a really wonderful, and it's become this tradition in a lot of people's houses that, you get your Snuggie blankets and you get your hot cocoa all set up and you sit down and tune in as a family and watch this presentation. But now there is also that option to come to the theater and be in the same space with the actors. It's crazy town. It's so good.
Well,
it's crazy town.
I've always wanted to do this live, but it's always scared the heck out of me. So
As it should.
I haven't pulled the trigger on it. And this year, I think we we were talking about it, and the desire to have this kind of energy inside a room, and do it live, what just kind of overcame me, and I think we just made the decision that this is how we have to do it. And Tom Kenny is a good friend, and he actually, I brought it to him, and I said, hey, Tom, what do you think of this? What do you think of the entire cast of SpongeBob coming in and doing this with some such special guests? Do you think that would be something that would be something you guys could get into? And he's like, let me ask. And he literally put me on a text with everyone and asked them, and they all kind of said yes. So here we are, and we got, like I said, we have some incredible guest stars. Mark Hamill, who is a great friend of the center, and
Joey King.
actually played Clarence one year.
Yes. Who's he playing this year?
He's playing one of the actually, we're doing a radio play, so it's the only celestial spirit. So it's Joseph. He's playing Joseph.
All right. Fabulous.
And then we have Joey King, who's coming in to play Mary, and Ron Funches, who is going to be joining us as well, playing a couple of parts.
And you got Tom Bergeron joining again.
Tom Bergeron is joining us again. He's he's the unofficial announcer of the Ed Asner Family Center.
He's amazing.
he's just always been there for us, and Tom is he's a pro and just one of the greatest guys in the world. We love him, and he's going to be great.
Amazing. And I want to say a shout out to people who are watching. Rodney, so thrilled that you're here. Autism Journey with Elijah. Rosie, we're thrilled that you guys are all here. Daniel has written in and said, an Ed Asner version of It's a Wonderful Life would have had a scene of, this is Ted Baxter reporting from the newsroom. Oh, wait, that's the Mary Tyler Moore show. Yeah, but your dad did it in...
he did.
He
First
played,
year.
Yeah, he played Mr. Gower.
Pete Davidson, the Pete Davidson year. He played Mr. Potter, which was the part that I always wanted to see him play,
Yeah.
and he did great.
I said Mr. Gower. You're right. It was Mr. Potter. No,
Potter.
he was wonderful. Very gruff, Mr. Potter.
Very gruff. I'm going to say something. His spirit is in everything we do, and I feel him every time we've done this. He's been present. His spirit has been present, and his energy has been there. And it's an amazing thing to kind of take part in. And be involved in, because his spirit is definitely with us.
Absolutely, as it should be. One of our favorite things watching it live is it's impossible to do a reading of it and not have mistakes happen. And being able to watch how they deal with the mistakes, it has been the most fun thing whenever a mistake happens. And was it last year? It couldn't have been last year. Was where somebody...
We didn't do it last year. We skipped last year.
Oh God, I didn't
because of
even realize that.
the actor strike.
Oh right.
But it was the
right.
the year before. You're talking about the dog.
Well, there was the dog, but there was also that somebody's computer was dying.
Brendan Fraser's computer was dying, and he kind of stopped us in the middle of it and said, "Guys, I got a problem here. My iPad is gonna die, and I don't have a battery." And I'm we're kind of sitting there going, "Oh, this is an interesting one."
Right, he's playing the lead.
This is an interesting one.
But I gotta say that from that moment on, like the energy went up, and people, it was like...
He woke everyone up, that's for sure.
Because that's what
halfway
happened.
through and he had a lot to do left, so I'm glad that he found a battery. I'm glad he found a power source.
Right, exactly. But it's always fun to see what happens in every single performance. There's been at least one moment where it looked like it was all going to go off the rails, and somebody saved it. Right?
Well, we did actually. The first year, I think we lost Bill Pullman at the end. He disappeared. He just, he was on the East Coast, and I think, I think it just happened. It just his
internet went out
past the bedtime, and that was it.
And he was out.
It was just an empty chair after that, and so someone I can't remember who it was, but someone took his part and kind of ran with it.
Oh, I don't remember
Might have been
that.
I can't remember who it was, but oh, I think it was B.D. Wong. I think.
I was just going to say, B.D. Wong, I remember because he played a bunch of characters in the first one, and he was doing like set changes behind him,
Yeah.
and he had special microphones for certain things. He was putting on hats. That man was a one-man band. It was so much fun to watch him interpret that. But that's been the case across the years. What people have brought to it has been so fun. So let's go over. So your George this year is Tom Kenny, SpongeBob.
Yep.
So that will be very interesting. And he is somebody that we all know. You can't play SpongeBob for so many years and be so likable without a huge heart. Like, I
No.
think that's part of why SpongeBob was so popular, because that man has a huge heart. He has given that heart to our community time and time again. So I think
Tom
this is
is-
going to be good.
Tom is a special person.
Yeah.
And he, and it's rare. And I really have only seen it in a few people, who are celebrities. My dad was one of them, who kind of, you get that feeling he would do anything to help, if he's involved in something. The ego goes out the door. And I'm not saying my dad didn't have an ego, and Tom doesn't have an ego. They have egos, of course they do. They couldn't get through with what they do if they didn't have egos. But I think what's important is they take everything seriously, and they put heart in everything.
Yeah.
And they believe in what they're giving.
And boy, and that's
and-
what a George needs.
That is
So-
what it needs. And I think people will see Tom Kenny as a very believable George.
I agree. I agree. Listen, when Navah said that she wanted David, is it Davidson? Yes,
Davidson.
Davidson. When she wanted him to be George, like, people were losing their minds over it. People were like, he can't play. He was phenomenal.
He was great.
Phenomenal. So
He was great.
I never ever question Nava's casting, because Nava has her eye on that. Daniel's saying, if anybody in the audience heckles you, just have Clancy Brown give them a stern look. Boy, that's the truth. And he said,
That's one of the reasons he'll be there for sure. And he's playing Mr. Potter. So
there you go. Perfect casting. Daniel also says there's no pineapple under the sea in Bedford Falls. Well, there will be on December 14th, Daniel.
on December 14th, we're bringing the pineapple.
That's right.
To Bedford.
That's right. So he'll be playing, Mr. Krabs will be playing Mr. Potter.
Mr. Potter.
The Bill, I'm going to slaughter his name too.
Fagerback.
Fagerback. So he's Patrick, the voice of Patrick, correct? On SpongeBob. Who is he playing in It's a Wonderful Life?
He is playing the part of Clarence.
Oh, well, that's going to be interesting, won't
Yes,
it?
I think it's going to be great.
You got Joey King playing Mary, which, if you guys don't know who Joey King is, and if you don't know how much Joey King has done for the autism community, I remember when Joey King was a child, like 10, and she came to every Denim and Diamonds and spoke out about her friends on the spectrum and how they needed equity. She and her sister have been instrumental, and you guys know Joey from so many different things. But of course, the most recent thing that I went gazanga over, and I hope she gets Emmy nods, was We Were the Lucky Ones. Did you end up watching that, Matt?
Yeah, it was amazing. She was great in that.
She was
really great in it.
So
It
great.
was, I think it's on Hulu, right?
Yes. Oh, it was like a tour de force performance, you guys. But she's done so many things in recent years. Absolutely amazing.
She's great in everything she does.
She is.
She's a terrific actress. She's going to be a great Mary.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. So Roger Bumpus is going to play Uncle Billy.
Now, who is he on SpongeBob?
Squidward.
Oh, that's hysterical. He's going to be
Well, he's
Uncle
gonna-
Billy. That's brilliant.
He'll have fun with that role.
Yes, of course he will. And then of course you've got Mark Hamill, as you mentioned. He's the celestial.
Yes.
That'll be lovely. Basically, the voice of God. And of course Spencer Hart, who the one person who has been the steady through all of the performances has been Spencer playing Zuzu, right? It's Zuzu.
I think Spencer and Chelsea have been in every one we've done. I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Well, we love Chelsea too. Amazing. You've always included actors on the spectrum, but I think, Spencer as Zuzu has become an institution. I don't think any of us can picture anybody else doing it. And she brings something new to it every year. And it's fun to watch her work with the Georges because that changes everything every year. She's one of those actresses that she is in the moment with them, and it just colors everything wonderful. And Chelsea has got so many wonderful voices. Who is Chelsea playing this year?
That's still being determined.
Okay.
But she will have lots to do, and it will be good. And like I said, it's going to be different this year because when people are not on stage with their part, they're going to be taking part in what's going on because it's a live performance.
Right.
So, they might be doing some background work. They might be, it's going to be a very active, moving performance. And I think people will really be excited by that.
Daniel just wrote in. Daniel, thank you. You just put this together for me in a way that I did not realize. Daniel said, yes, Bill Fagerbach was also on Coach with Craig T. Nelson and Jerry Van Dyke. And I just realized all these years that I watched SpongeBob and saw that name and heard the voice, and now I just suddenly got the picture of who that is. The big, tall, blonde guy on Coach. Yeah. I never put that together before, Daniel. Thank you. That's crazy that I never thought of that before. So amazing cast. As you mentioned, there's a Foley artist. For people who don't reside in Hollywood and don't know what that is, explain to them what a Foley artist does.
Well, we're doing this in a radio play style. So when you do it in a radio play style, you need sound effects, you need sounds to kind of sell what's going on screen. So we're going to have we have a wonderful young lady from Chicago named Ellie Maitland, who is going to be doing our Foley, and she does it for a theater in Chicago. And she's got a table full of tools, and she's going to go to town on December 14th and bring us all sorts of wonderful sounds. And I mentioned the music. We'll have live music from Chris Allen, who is an incredible pianist and organist. And it's going to be just a very different kind of thing.
Now, you said several times you're doing this radio theater style, and that the script is slightly different. Is because this was based on was it a short story or a book? It's a Wonderful Life. I don't remember.
It's based on a short story called The Greatest Gift by Philip Van Dorn Stern.
There we go.
And they've been extremely gracious with us in terms of giving us the rights to do this every year and working with us. They've been great partners, and It's a Wonderful Life would not exist without Philip Dornstern.
Right.
Philip Van Dornstern. It would not exist. So this is the legacy of It's a Wonderful Life is all due to his writing this original short story,
which is a part of all of our Christmases and just a part of our zeitgeist. But so is this radio play script, are we going to see that it's a little bit different than the movie, or is it pretty stay true to the movie?
It stays fairly true to the movie. There's some scenes that are kind of pushed together and some that are kind of moved around a little bit. But for the most part, it is the movie. And it's a little shorter than when we would do the script in previous years, it would be a very long event. It would be 4 hours. And that is, I'm being generous there.
Yeah.
4 hours. I think this year it's probably going to be a little over 2. So
okay,
we're going to keep it tight, and it'll be I think everyone will be much happier because it's not going to be a 4-hour production.
Okay, that's good to know. Because it was it was a worthwhile, but a long evening. And I would always say to people, stay to the end because all kinds of fun things would happen at the end. Are you still doing that kind of stuff?
You never know what's going to happen.
All right, all right. So let's talk nitty gritty about. There are a set number of people who can be in the theater, and I know you just started selling tickets yesterday, and already it's close to selling out. So if people
Yes.
want to be in that theater, they pretty much need to do something today, tomorrow, or this week.
You can buy tickets at teafc.org/events. Of course, go to It's a Wonderful Life when you see it. And you can be in the, basically there's only 100 seats. We only have 100 seats. And we did that for a reason. We wanted this to be a really special event.
Yeah.
With that seat that you buy, you go to the VIP after party and get to hang out with the cast afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's a very special thing for you if you come and buy a ticket. Tickets are competitively priced. It's not cheap, but it's certainly within the realm of, what you would want to pay doing something like this.
Yeah.
So
I mean, to be at a party with all those people, hello. So tell us, just rip the Band-Aid off. How much is the competitively priced?
each ticket is $250.
Okay. I mean, that's very reasonable for a gala with people, and you're going to be at the party with them, and there's only going to be 100 people. It just
That's
is.
right.
It just is.
And with that, you get food afterwards and wine and beer.
There you go.
But
Okay.
you don't drink soft drinks.
Okay. Now, everybody is not in Los Angeles, and a lot of people still want to participate, and that's the beauty of this, that the lion's share of people can be watching this in the comfort of their home on their smart TVs at a very, very reasonable price to be able to see this. Tell us about how they do that and what that costs.
Well, once again, you can go to our website, teafc.org/events. There will be a link to purchase the stream. So you can purchase it for $19.95, I believe. And that will be good until January 1st. So you can watch it, until January 1st.
Okay, but you can certainly watch it live.
You can watch it live, which is something that I would suggest you do.
Yes.
But you can certainly watch it again if you want to, as an encore, until January 1st.
So this.
And we're working this year with a streaming company called Triller TV. They mostly handle fights, which we hope this doesn't happen during this, but you never know. But they've been great with us. They've been a great partner, and we're excited because basically every smart TV will be able to show this, and you can stream it directly to your TVs, which is something that we haven't had before. You've had to do it through mirroring and stuff like that. So now you can actually watch it on TV. So it's going to be very exciting and user friendly for people.
So very cost effective. I mean, it's just such a good deal. But there's another element to this, that you're raising money for the center. So let's talk about why you would want to support the center, what the funds go towards, because you guys have something very unique and special going on over there.
Well, I mean, the funds go to our programs and our scholarships, and they fund our ability to do the groundbreaking programming that we do. We have programs like the Dating Spectrum in our academy, which is our kind of flagship program, which is our day program, which is employment and arts based. We also have things like the special events that we have for the public, like the gift exchange, the Santa event that we're doing on December 6th. So if you want to come get a gift on December 6th, just give us a holler and come on down. We're giving out presents. And Shannon, you started that tradition, and we're continuing it.
Well, I partnered with you guys for a couple of years, and you guys were wonderful partners. I'm too old to do anything anymore. Like,
Well,
I
I'll be dressing as Santa. Jim used to dress as Santa. This
yes,
is my bailiwick now. So
and
now I get to dress as Santa.
and it's been
But
lovely to pass that torch. I know that that meant a lot to Jim. That there were years when you guys shared it,
yeah,
but you know, my husband and I got old while we weren't looking. So I love that we're doing it with you guys, and I love that you can continue to carry on and do it completely your way. I love that. I'm very thrilled that you guys are doing that.
well, we're excited, and like I said, if you're in LA and you're in need, please visit us on December 6th between 12 and you can see it. You can find it on our website. I think
Okay.
between 12 and 4. I think, and it'll be special. We are still looking for gifts. So if you have gifts, and specifically boy gifts, because we have a lot of girl gifts, but if you have any boy gifts that you can donate, please email Blanca at teafc.org and let us know.
There we go. Amazing. But
Don't let that shy you away. If you're a boy, we still have stuff.
yeah, but am I correct? You want people to RSVP and let you know they're coming so that you know what you
Yes,
need? Okay.
please.
Okay.
Please, Blanca at teafc.org.
Okay. And then let's take a minute to talk about this amazing academy because, we're leading parallel lives. I get to see you every once in a while, and I get to talk to you guys every once in a while, and I hear what you're working on, and then it's like I turn around and it's happened, and I know it's time that you guys are in the trenches, but that's what it feels like to me. That I'll see you guys at something socially, and you'll say, "Oh, I remember when Navah was like, I really want to do this amazing
Yeah.
academy. I really want to be working on this employment thing. I want to, I'm seeing too many people that don't have a place to be during the day that's educational and fun and helping them to get to their careers." And then it was like I blinked. I know it was hard work for you guys, but I blinked, and now you guys, is this the second or third year for the academy?
This is the second year.
Okay.
The second year.
Okay.
Now it's interesting because if Navah says she wants to do something, she will do it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's she's a force.
Yes,
and,
she
and
is.
a force for good.
Yes.
So yeah, the academy was born out of us kind of looking around at what was out there and just not seeing the kind of thing that we wanted out there.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're not good programs out there. What I'm saying is that just we wanted something a little different and that meant a little more to us than what was out there. So we wanted something that was arts-based. We knew that. And we wanted something that was going to prepare our participants for employment.
Yeah.
And we knew that. So in order for us to do that, we needed to partner with corporations in the community. And we found one particular partner right now that we were working with for the last 2 years called Funko. And they have a, Funko, Funko.
Yeah. Funko.
That's Funko. Wait. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So that's a Funko. And they have a museum store in Hollywood. And they've been incredible partners with us. 2 days a week, our participants go and work in the store. They're trained as cashiers. They're trained in numerous different roles throughout the store. We always wanted this to happen, but we always wanted our participants to be there as possible employees, future employees of Funko. That was always our mission. It might not have been Funko's mission at first, but through time, this program has really become extremely important to Funko, and they also have a program in Washington that mirrors our program.
Yeah.
So we started something together, and it's kind of exploded into something wonderful.
And now they do have employees that graduated from your.
The great thing about this is that 3 of our participants in our academy have gone on to employment with Funko.
Yeah.
And it started out as a summer job, and they've been hired They've been hired after the summer, so they've kept their jobs. And that's such a wonderful thing where, you know, you can see in each of these participants the incredible confidence that they have because they're employed and because their life has a positive vibe to it now.
Absolutely.
You know, we always say that people are used to, in autism, people are used to the word no. They're used to the word, oh, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. And here at the Asner Family Center, we want them to hear yes.
Yeah.
We want them to hear that things are possible, because you know what, things are possible.
Yep.
And with work and training and the repetition, you can succeed.
Absolutely. Daniel wants to know how many times you've gotten to hang out with Betty White. He said, I saw his dad on an episode of Off Their Rockers, and he was Betty's blind date. So did you get to hang out with Betty?
Betty was an angel. She was one of the sweetest people in the world. And yeah, I mean, I used to see her all the time. She was Aunt Betty to us, and I loved her dearly.
Amazing.
She's greatly missed. You know what was amazing though with Betty White? Here's what's amazing with Betty White. I could not have predicted how huge she would become. I mean, during the Mary Tyler Moore show, she was there around all the time, and she was just, Aunt Betty. She was wonderful.
Yeah.
I can't believe how big she got after that, the Golden Girls, and then, becoming kind of a pop culture icon that she did.
Yeah.
She was incredible, and just one of the sweetest people in the world. Really, really sweet person.
It's crazy to think that entire cast, save one, is now gone, and the one who remains is John Asher's mother,
Joyce Bulifant.
Yes.
Yep, that's right.
She is the one person from that cast.
That's correct. And I actually, when John Amos died, I posted that the last remaining cast member has died, and I forgot about Joyce Bulifant, and she did I think 4 episodes, I think, or 5, 6, 7 episodes.
It seemed like so much more than that to me.
Yeah.
She played,
but she was definitely there, and
yeah.
I mean, I guess you could go further and say I think Robbie Rist did 4 episodes.
What character did he play?
He played Ted's son.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember because she was Murray's wife.
There's a great scene where he's acting up. His name was David, and he's acting up, and he Ted has to spank him, which wouldn't happen today, of course. But
right.
It was really funny. Great scene of him having to spank him and having a complete emotional episode as he does so.
Yeah, amazing. Daniel has said Joyce Bulifant was a regular on Match Game.
She was.
And but also it's always interesting to me to see all the ties for autism. That here she was on a show with your dad, and she was a grandparent, and so was your dad. Your dad was also a father to somebody on the spectrum, but it's just interesting to see how connected we all are. Right?
Absolutely.
And how connected we are to this community, that it keeps coming up and we see all of the connections, which is a very powerful thing, and is part of the reason why you have so many wonderful celebrities that are willing to do this kind of help and support, because our community gets bigger and wider and people realize, okay, this affects everyone. It really does.
Yeah.
Well, we're like about to be 2 minutes out of time. Is there anything else at the center that we want to be promoting? We mentioned the December 6th, and you need to register for that if you want a gift. But on December 14th, you need to buy your tickets now. You do.
If you want to get in there, you have to buy your tickets. So buy your tickets.
And it's a great gift to give somebody too.
It is. And I'll just say this, and become our friend. Join our newsletter, find out what's going on. We do have a great newsletter that goes out every month that talks about programs that we have going on or programs that are starting. and we've, you know, religiously done it, you know, every month, which is amazing for 2 years, I think, which is,
Wow.
I'm very proud of. Not that I'm doing it, but you know, I'm proud of it. And I become you know, become a member of our community, because we're doing amazing things and we want you involved.
Yeah. Well, you guys do incredible work. I know that everything that you have coming up this month, my goodness, so the 6th, that's literally this weekend. We're just a couple of days away. People need to register for that.
Yes, they do.
That's crazy.
Come on down.
I am out of town. Otherwise, I would be over there, but I'm out of town. I have to go to a
Okay.
wedding in Texas. But
Oh,
my
lucky you.
niece is getting married, so I gotta go be at that.
There you go.
Yeah. But we wish you guys, we hope you have a really wonderful, wonderful event. I know that the It's a Wonderful Life is going to be amazing. But please, you guys, go on their website, teafc.org, correct?
That's it.
That stands for the Ed Asner Family Center. I always have to do the math on that because I can't remember teafc.org. And if you go to /events, then you're right at the stuff that you want to register. But tool around the website, see everything there is to see. You guys are doing
We
good
just
work.
redesigned the website, so
Okay.
take a look.
All right. Well, Matt, we're out of time, but so thrilled that we had this opportunity. Please give my love to everyone there, and
I
thank
will.
you for all the good work you're doing.
Thank you, and love to everyone there, and great seeing you, Shannon.
You
Great seeing you.
too. Take care.
Talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye. So that's our show for today, you guys. Got really amazing stuff. I am leaving for the weekend. I'm going to be in Texas, but I will be back on Monday. We've got a great show on Monday. Lots of things come. But before I forget, I can't believe I forgot to talk about this. On Monday starts the Global Autism Parenting Summit. It starts on Monday. It goes Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's free. It is free to you to be able, but you need to register. And when you register, you get a free gift, a free book that is all of an ebook that's about how to prevent caregiver and parent burnout, which, listen, we all need that, right? So register for that. That gives you access to be able to watch the presentations. They have over 45 speakers, 45, 25, I'm not sure. Over 25, I think, for this conference. But I will say that Dr. Grampiche is one of the speakers. I am one of the speakers at it. It is free to you. So there is we'll see once you register for free, there is a paid, if you want to do the VIP, which then gives you the videos that you can go back and watch them later on. And if you want to do that, that's fabulous, and it helps support their efforts. But you don't have to do that. You can attend the whole thing for free, and of course you get your ebook about parent burnout for free. So please check that out. That's on Monday. That starts on Monday and goes Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I think Dr. Grampiche is talking on Tuesday, and I think I'm talking on Wednesday. But so please check that out, and please get your tickets to It's a Wonderful Life, whether you're seeing it in person or you're watching it online. I thank all of you for being here with us. We're back next week. We're going to be talking about some amazing toys next week, so see us then. Until then, give a kid. I can't even talk anymore. Give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you so much. See you next time.